Hello mga ka-JTV. In this video lesson, we will discuss about laws of radicals. At the end of this video lesson, you are expected to derive and illustrate laws of radicals and simplify radical expressions using laws of radicals. Huwag kalimutan mag-subscribe at pindutin ang notification bell para updated kayo sa mga i-upload ko mga video lessons. Pindutin din ang like button sa ibaba kung nakatulong itong video lesson sa iyo. So, let's begin. Okay, dito sa video lesson na ito, pag-aaralan natin yung laws of radicals. Di ba nung previous lesson natin, pinag-aralan natin yung laws of exponents. So, gagamitin natin yung mga laws of exponents na yon sa pag-derive ng mga tinatawag nating laws of radicals. Okay, so start tayo dito. So, we have nth root of a raised to n. So, yung gagawin natin dito, i-derive natin yung unang law natin sa radicals. So, gamit itong laws of exponents. So, nth root of a raised to n, pwede natin i-transform into quantity a raised to n raised to 1 over n. And, pwede nating multiply by power rule yung n tsaka 1 over n. That is equal to a raised to n over n. Diba? N times 1 over n is n over n. And, pwede natin divide yung n over n na yan. So, makuha natin is 1, diba? And a raised to 1 is simply equal to a. So, dito, na-derive na natin yung unang law natin for radicals. So, yung first law is nth root of a raised to n is equal to a. So, ibig sabihin yan dito is, kapag yung exponent ng radical natin ay equals siya dun sa index, we simply remove the radicals and yung ilalabas lang natin ay yung radical natin na a. So, matatanggal na itong radicals natin at saka itong exponent ng radical natin. So, we simply write a. Okay, kung magkapares yung exponent at yung index. So, lalabas lang natin nun is yung a natin. So, magbigay tayo ng example. So, examples, number 1, the cube root of 2 cube. So, makikita natin dito na yung index natin ay equal sa exponent ng radical natin. So, yung answer lang natin dyan by first law of radical is 2. So, tatanggalin lang natin yung radicals, index, tsaka yung exponent ng radical natin. We simply write 2. Okay? Number 2 is the fifth root of x raised to 5. So, makikita ulit natin dyan na yung index at saka yung exponent ng radical natin ay equal. So, by first law, yung answer lang natin dito ay x. So, tanggalin na natin si radical at exponent ng radical. And, siyempre, yung index. Example number 3 is square root of 3 square. So, dito hindi na natin nakikita yung index, diba? Kagaya sinabi ko dati na kapag wala tayong nakikitang index dyan, automatic is 2 yung index nyan. So, ibig sabihin nyan, 2 yung index at equal siya dun sa exponent ng radical natin na 2. So, by first law, tatanggalin lang natin yan. So, yung magiging answer lang natin dyan ay 3. Example number 4, the cube root of 125. So, dito yung radical natin, wala tayong nakikitang exponent, diba? So, para ma-simplify natin to or malabas natin tong 125 sa radical sign, kailangan magka-exponent din siya na equal doon sa index. So, ito, pwede natin i-rewrite yung 125 as 5 cube. Diba? 5 times 5, that's 25, times 5, that is 125. So, in this case, magkapares na yung index tsaka yung exponent. Then, by applying first law, makuha natin ay 5. Example number 5, the square root of 64. Again, 64, wala tayong nakikitang exponent na 2. So, yung index natin dito, di ba, invisible 2. So, pwede natin i-rewrite 64 as 8 square. So, dito, makikita na natin na yung index at yung exponent ng radical natin ay equal. So, by applying first law, makuha natin ay 8. Okay, next law naman, second law. So, we have nth root of a times nth root of b. So, pwede natin i-rewrite dyan as a raised to 1 over n times b raised to 1 over n. Okay? So, from radical expression, tinransform natin into exponential expression. So, dito, we have a raised to 1 over n times b raised to 1 over n. Pwede nating isimplify yan as quantity ab raised to 1 over n. Diba? Ina-apply natin dito yung power of a product. Okay? So, pwede kasi natin yun, diba? Distribute yung 1 over n sa a at sa b. Okay? And then, pwede natin ibalik yan as nth root of a over b. Okay? So, quantity yan, diba? Ibig sabihin, magkasama yung a, b na yan. So, ita-transform natin siya as a radical expression niya, radical form. So, yon magiging nth root. So, yung denominator ng exponent natin, siya yung magiging index at itong numerator ng exponent is siya yung magiging exponent ng radicand. So, dito hindi na natin nilagay na quantity ab raised to 1 kasi understood na yung exponent nito ay 1. So, dito, madiderive natin yung second law natin. So, ang ibig sabihin yung second law na yan na kapag daw yung dalawang expression natin, nth root of a times nth root of b, so, kapag magkaparehas daw yung index, pwede natin pagsamahin yung radicand natin sa loob ng radical sign. So, we simply write nth root of a times b. Okay? So, gagayahin lang natin yung common index nila and then yung radicand natin, ipagmumultiply natin sa loob. So, a times b yan. Okay? Yan yung second law. So, magbigay tayo ng mga example. So, number 1, fourth root of x times fourth root of y. So, dito nakikita natin na yung index is parehas. So, pwede nating pagsamahin na lang sa loob ng isang radical yung radicand na x and y. So, we simply write the fourth root of xy. So, by second law. So, wala tayong binabiolate na process. Kasi, meron tayong tinatawag na second law of radical. So, ito yung nagiging basis natin. At nakuha lang natin tong law na ito galing dun sa mga laws of exponent. Okay, example number 2. The seventh root of 3 times seventh root of 2. So, magkaparehas yung index. So, pwede natin pagsamahin si 3 at saka 2 sa loob ng radical. So, we have 7th root of 3 times 2. And pwede pa natin simplify yan. 3 times 2, that is 6. So, yung final answer natin is 7th root of 6. Example number 3. Cube root of 3 times cube root of 9. So, by second law again, magkaparas naman yung index. Kaya pwede natin pagsamahin si 3 at saka 9 sa loob ng radical. So, we have cube root of 3 times 9. And simplify natin yan. 3 times 9, that is 27. Okay? So, si 27, perfect cube siya. Pwede natin siyang i-rewrite as 3 raised to 3. Diba? 3 times 3, that is 9. Times 3, that is 27. So, dito, equal na yung index at saka yung exponent ng radicand natin. So, dito, pwede natin i-apply yung first law. Diba? So, equal yung index at saka yung exponent. Kaya, yung magiging answer lang natin dito ay 3. Okay, example number 4. Square root of 27 times square root of 3. So, dito magkapares ulit yung index na 2. So, pwede natin pagsayamahin sa loob ng radical si 27 at 3. So, that is square root of 27 times 3. So, we simplify. 27 times 3, that is 81. And si 81 is perfect square. So, pwede natin i-write si 81 as 9 square. So, dito, equal na yung index at saka yung exponent o radicand natin. Kaya, we simply remove that radical sign at saka yung exponent ng radicand. So, we simply write 9. Okay, sa third law of radicals na tayo. So, given yung nth root of a over nth root of b, pwede natin i-rewrite dyan as a raised to 1 over n over b raised to 1 over n. So, from radical expression to exponential expression. So, pwede rin natin i-rewrite yan as a over b raised to 1 over n. Diba? Isa rin to dun sa mga loss of exponent natin. Diba? Dinidistribute natin tong 1 over n sa numerator at sa denominator. Okay? Dun sa power of a quotient. So, pwede natin ulit i-rewrite ito as nth root of a over b. Diba? Isang quantity lang naman yan, yung a over b. Kaya, kailangan nakapasok yan sa radical sign. So, we have nth root of a over b. So, dyan nadiderive yung third law natin, na yung nth root of a over nth root of b ay equal lang sa nth root of a over b. So, pwede natin sila pagsamahin sa loob ng radical sign. So, kagaya lang nung second law, di ba? Ang kaso lang yung second law natin ay multiplication. Ito naman, division siya. So, bigay tayo ng mga example. Number 1, the cube root of x over cube root of y. So, dito makikita natin na pares yung index. So, i-check natin, no? Dito kasi n siya. Ibig sabihin, kailangan magkapares yan. So, dito, magkapares yung index, kaya pwede natin silang pagsamahin sa loob ng radical sign. So, that is cube root of x over y. So, by third law, itong dalawang ito ay equal lang. Pero, hindi pa natin masasabing nakasimplify itong cube root of x over y. Kasi, next video, i-discuss natin yung pag-simplify ng radicals. So, dito, hanggang dito muna tayo. Next lesson natin itatackle yung kung paano yung simplification ng mga radicals, yung mga rules para masabi natin ano sila, nakasimplify na. So, ililib muna natin to as ganyan. So, pinapakita lang natin kung paano ina-apply yung third law. So, example number 2, the fourth root of 32 over fourth root of 2. So, magkapares yung index, kaya pwede natin silang pagsamahin sa loob ng radical sign. So, we have fourth root of 32 over 2. And 32 divided by 2, that is simply 16. And 16 is perfect fourth power, kaya pwede natin siyang i-write as 2 raised to 4. Diba? 2 times 2, 4 times 2, 8 times 2, 16. So, dito, magkapares yung index at saka yung exponent ng radical natin. So, by applying yung first law natin, pwede natin i-simplify yan as 2. Number 3, square root of 18 x raised to 5 over square root of 2x. Okay? So, pwede natin ulit pagsamahin yan sa loob ng radical sign by third law. So, we have square root of 18x raised to 5 over 2x. And then, 18 divided by 2, that is simply 9, di ba? At itong x raised to 5 divided by x, so quotient rule natin, di ba? Gagawin natin is, isusubtract natin yung exponent ng numerator, exponent ng expression na natin na nasa numerator, ma-minus natin dun sa exponent ng expression na nasa denominator. So, that is 5 minus yung invisible 1 na exponent. So, 5 minus 1, that is 4. Kaya nakuha natin yung x raised to 4 dyan. And then, hindi pa yun yung final answer natin. Since si 9 ay perfect square at itong x raised to 4 is malalabas din natin yan. So, pwede natin i-rewrite yan as 3 square. 3 square is equal to 9, di ba? So, makikita natin dito na square siya. In-equal natin siya dun sa index na 2. Tapos itong x raised to 4 naman, pwede natin i-rewrite as x square raised to 2. Kasi 'di ba, by power rule, 2 times 2, that is 4. So, ginawa natin 'yan para mailabas natin sa radical itong x square. Kumbaga, ika-cancel natin tong exponent na square niya dito. At ito naman, yung sa 9, yung 3 square, ito naman ika-cancel natin. So, ilalabas lang natin dito ay yung 3 at yung x square. Matitira yung square na exponent ng 3 dito at itong isang square nung variable natin na x. So, we simply write 3x square. Okay? So, x square lalabas natin dito. Kasi x raised to 4 yun. Okay, and last law of radicals. So, derive natin to. So, we have the expression mth root of nth root of a. So, makita natin dyan na naka-radical yung isang radical. So, pwede natin i-rewrite dyan as quantity nth root of a raised to 1 over m. Okay, so from radical expression, i-transform natin siya into exponential expression. So, dito, kinuha muna natin, tinanggal muna natin yung mth root, ginawa natin exponential form. So, nakuha natin is nth root of a raised to 1 over m. Okay, so, bali ito kasing nth root of a, naka-raise siya sa 1. Yung nth root of a, naka-raise siya sa 1, kaya kapag tinransform mo yan, nagiging siyang 1 over m. Diba yung index yung magiging denominator ng exponent at yung exponent ng radical natin ay 1. And then, pwede rin natin i-write itong nth root of a as radical expression, exponential expression. So, pwede natin i-write yan as a raised to 1 over n, di ba? So, yung a, yung exponent niya is invisible 1, kaya naging 1 over n yan. Yung n natin galing dun sa index na n. Okay? And then, by power rule, pwede natin i-multiply itong 1 over n at saka 1 over m. Di ba? Numerator to numerator, 1 times 1 is simply 1, and n times m, that is simply nm or mn. Okay? So, we have a raised to 1 over mn or nm. Okay lang, kahit magkabaligtad dyan. Okay? And then, pwede natin ulit ibalik ito into radical form niya or radical expression. So, di ba yung denominator ng exponent is siya yung magiging index. So, we simply write m nth root of a. Diba? Yung denominator na exponent siya yung magiging index. mn. And then, dito na natin makukuha yung last law natin. Yung fourth law. So, sabi niya sa fourth law, yung m of nth root of a is just equal to m nth root of a. So, kapag ganyan nakikita natin, radical tapos nakapasok pa yung isang radical, pwede nating ipag-multiply na lang yung dalawang index nila. Tapos, isang radical na lang yung susulat natin. Okay, so magbigay tayo ng mga example. So, number 1, the third root of fourth root of x. So, by applying fourth law, pwede nating ipag-multiply na lang itong dalawang index na ito. Tapos, isa lang yung radical sign natin. So, ganyan siya. 3 times 4, that is 12. So, yung final answer na lang natin dito ay 12 root of x. Okay? Number 2 example, the cube root of square root of x raised to 12. So, pag multiply lang natin si 3 at yung 2 na index dyan. So, 3 times 2, that is 6. And then, 6 root of x raised to 12, pwede pa natin i-simplify yan. Pwede natin i-rewrite itong x raised to 12 as x raised to 2 raised to 6. Kasi 2 times 6, that is 12. Equal lang to, no? X square raised to 6 is simply x raised to 12. So, dito, pwede natin i-apply si first law. Kasi, itong exponent ng x square na 6 ay equal dun sa index. So, pwede natin apply si first law. Ang magiging answer na natin dito ay x square. Example number 3. The square root of 16. So, we have the index 2 at saka 2 dyan. So, pag multiply lang natin yon, 2 times 2, that is simply 4. So, we have the fourth root of 16. And si 16, pwede natin i-rewrite as 2 raised to 4. Diba? 2 times 2, 4 times 2, 8 times 2, 16. So, dito, pwede natin ulit i-apply si first law kasi yung index at saka yung exponent and radical natin ay equal. So, pwede natin ilabas si 2 sa radical. So, we simply write 2. So, ganun lang yung pag-derive ng mga laws of radicals galing dun sa laws of exponent. And at the same time, nagbigay tayo ng mga examples kung paano mag-simplify gamit yung laws of radicals. Okay? So, sana marami kayong natutunan dito sa video lesson. Huwag kalimutang mag-subscribe at pindutin ang notification bell para updated kayo sa mga i-upload ko mga video lessons. Pindutin din ang like button sa ibaba kung nakatulong itong video lesson sa iyo. Hanggang dito na lang. Paalam!